Emeth, truth. With this meaning, the ancient robot is now named, and it seems his moment to act has begun. Let's analyze everything that happened in One Piece chapter 111 and 19 and theorize about the main points of this chapter. Join me after the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and before we get into the content of this video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new videos here on the channel. Now let's get into the content. One Piece chapter 111 and 19 features on its cover volume 8 of Yamato's adventures. Her journey has finally started, but it's not going too well for Kaido's daughter. Exactly because of who her father is, she gets hit by stones thrown by the kids of Kibi. Paying for the sins of the father, let's see how Yamato will handle this. Personally, I didn't see much sense in her being Kaido's daughter and nobody treating her differently because of it. Now, a similar scene happened with Robin, who also had stones thrown at her head. Robin is known as the Demon Child and Yamato as the Ogre Child. Could Oda be trying to say something with this? Anyway, let's see how this story will unfold. The chapter starts inside the Egghead lab. We see that Kaku has already been freed from the bubble by Stussy. He responds to the question Stussy asked earlier. Friends? My next step. Don't make me laugh. It's best you leave here soon because I won't oppose Rob Lucci when he arrives wanting to kill you. Stussy is in tears and wants to say something, perhaps explain, say she's a clone or something like that, but Kaku interrupts her and once again tells her to leave. However, we see a sad expression on Kaku's face with shadows over his eyes. If we remember a few chapters back, Rob Lucci also asked Mars to save Kaku, who said he doesn't pay attention to the insects he steps on. Lucci's request was fulfilled by Stussy. I wonder if these events might somehow change Rob Lucci. Kaku has already changed, but his loyalty to Rob Lucci is very strong. It remains to be seen if something has changed in Lucci or if his loyalty and bloodlust are irredeemable. We return to the north coast of Egghead, where we now have two Nikas, along with the giants cheering, Nika, Nika. The Marines now recognize this form of Luffy as the one shown on his current wanted poster. However, Marcus Mars quickly speaks the truth, almost as if Oda is responding to the haters. Two Nikas? There's only one, the other is fake, just a copy made by the Age Fruit. And that's it. We see throughout this chapter that Bonnie's power doesn't even come close to what the true Nika is, and it's more symbolic than about the actual powers. Although Bonnie does have an impressive feat in this chapter that I'll talk about later. Continuing, Luffy has an idea. He says these guys don't get hurt by anything, can't be cut or crushed, so the best thing is to throw them as far as possible. While Mars shoots a burst of fire from his mouth, by the way, Fuza and Skypia must be a foreshadowing of Mars. Luffy then inflates like a balloon and holds the attack, but screams in pain in the process. Well, and at this moment, Akainu's fans must be thrilled, right? The most powerful firepower in the series would certainly be very problematic for Luffy at this moment. Luffy then grabs Mars's wings and tells the two to attack him from behind together because that will make him throw Mars far away. Sanji and Frankie agree immediately, and Bonnie is shocked by this request. Sanji tells Bonnie to trust the captain because his orders are absolute. Could this be another hint that Bonnie will join the crew? Well, after Yamato, we're quite cautious about this, but it doesn't hurt to dream, right? Another thing is that Sanji and Frankie accepted so quickly. Is it absolute obedience, or were they really wanting to flick Luffy? Maybe revenge for the descent of the Sunny down the waterfalls of Wano. Sanji uses Ifrit Jambe, Frankie uses Impact Strong, and Bonnie uses a move called Giant Nika, Memory's Right Punch. This name of Bonnie's move is funny, but I think she honored both Nika, who is her hero here, and Kuma using the Memory's Right Punch, remembering the punch Kuma gave to Saturn with all the weight of the painful memories he caused him. That is, if the official translation is, isn't it? Another observation here is that both Sanji and Bonnie are using Haki here. You can see the black part on the move, but Frankie isn't. And here is the other impressive feat that Bonnie has at 12 years old, already knowing how to use Haki. Blackbeard really fooled us with the phrase, "You are too weak for our crew." Bonnie is strong and has a lot of potential. The combined powers hit Luffy's back, who screams in pain in the process, leaving Bonnie shocked. How come it hurt? But Luffy says, of course, you guys using hockey, of course it hurts. Now my question here is, was it necessary to use hockey since the intention was just to use Luffy's elastic body? Anyway, Luffy's plan works, and he throws Mars very far away, so far that you can see a star shining like the classic defeat scenes of Team Rocket in Pokemon. Luffy asks about Usopp and the others, and Sanji says they'll go through the sky, and then they'll meet. But Atlas is responding to someone. I will check. Atlas then says that York is monitoring them. She and Lilith will check it. Here the scene was a bit ambiguous for me, like I didn't understand if only Atlas will go check after Lilith's warning, or if both will check. But I believe this is the cue for one or both of them to die in the process. And then, changing perspective, we see that there is still static transmission. It's the Den Den Mushi inside the robot under the sea. Vegapunk's words are being cut off so Oda can increase the theorist's madness, giving hints amid blocked words. Then we see more reactions, and in Whole Cake, we see that Katakuri is not on a mad hunt to find his sister. Actually, he is pretty chill there in Whole Cake. We see more reactions. Oda really wants to show the whole One Piece world. We get the final fragment of his sentence again, and it seems he's still referring to the will of D that can be inherited. One detail here, we can see inside the Iron Giant when we see the Den Den Mushi wobbling, and the giant doesn't seem to be just an empty machine. It even looks like Egghead technology. The Den Den Mushi seems to be inside some sort of central console room. This really reminds me of the compartment that Moria used inside Oars. For those who have watched Tokusatsu, you know it was a rule for the hero to have a mecha and install themselves inside it. I really believe this ancient robot must be Joy Boy's mecha. We see Vivi and Morgans once again. I believe they are the characters most shown in Vegapunk's reactions here. We then see York. She specifies here that the Den Den Mushi has separate circuits for memory and transmission, and the memory signals are intact, so they have to destroy this directly. Then back to the north of Egghead, Luffy says it started raining, but the rain is not water, but people and debris. Well, who is causing this is the most shameful of the Gorosei so far. Jupiter. He is releasing everything he had sucked up chapters ago. This reminds me a bit of Blackbeard's power to suck things up and then release them as debris. Could there be any connection? The people falling are the Cypher Pol agents. Poor them. They went on a mission where they were kidnapped and now are being used as debris to throw at the pirates. But that's what extras are for, right? Not all of them are extras, though. We also see some bubbles falling, and in these bubbles are the Seraphim. And did you notice on which ship they are being thrown? Yes, the Elbaf ones. The same place where Luffy and Bonnie are. This strengthens the theory I've already brought here, that we'll have a Seraphim versus Seraphim fight, since by direct order of the Gorosei, we'll have S-Shark and S-Hawk, and by the being's instinct, we'll have S-Sneak, who loves Luffy, and S-Bear, who is more like Kuma. This scene is foreshadowed. Let's see if it actually happens. Note, while all this is happening, the Giants get scolded by Dory and Brogy as they are dancing amid all this, and the Marines are in shock. A white giant in Cypher Pol reign, is this a dream? Duel is still a child, really incapacitated by Bonnie. Well, Luffy then punches Jupiter, but another Gorosei is coming in a rush. It's Warcury who jumps with all his might to probably headbutt the ship. Luffy shouts, saying that this guy's skin is really tough. Brogy says that's bad because it will destroy the side of the ship. Bonnie, meanwhile, reverted to her normal form, but she didn't become old, just a child. Another detail here is he doesn't fly, and he jumped directly onto the ship. I believe that hitting the ship, he would fall into the water. What I mean is, he seems not to fear water, another indication that they don't have devil fruits. Then, the big moment of the chapter happens. The robot emerges from the water, and with a voice in his head, probably Joy Boy speaking to him. Imeth. When the time comes, you Emeth means truth in Hebrew, and is directly related to the Golem story, becoming undoubtedly an important name. We see this name in works like The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, where the character represents Inclusion. Could this be linked to the reason he rebelled 200 years ago? The chapter ends with the robot giving a huge punch to Warcury and breaking the Gorosei's horn, and surely Oda didn't put this character here for nothing. Not even Luffy in Gear 5 with a big punch managed to cause the damage that the robot's punch did, showing that this robot is absurd. Emeth is also the name of a fighting game character. According to the Cartoon Mashup Wiki, he possesses various special powers that we can see the Iron Giant use. From conjuring shields to spinning like a top, Emeth is about to wreak havoc. That's it, folks. Lots of things, many theories to come, so stay tuned to the channel. What's your rating for this chapter? Leave it in the comments. If you liked the video, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Until next time, thank you.